welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts Vertek and Chibi Bree are back from their latest adventure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Golden Feather. Today's episode is number 125 on this glorious 10th day of June 2022. And the title for today is, I blame Bartik, this is totally his idea, Bards Reign Supreme. So, you know.
But you included the question mark, so this is on you.
Wait, no, you said it wrong then. Wouldn't it be Bards Reign Supreme?
Bards Reign Supreme? Yeah, why not? We'll give it to him today.
Upward inflection?
Upward inflection?
I'm from California. This is how we speak. It's fine. It's fine.
Exactly.
So, friend, how are you today? It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been I think it's been about a year since I was last on, but happy to be here as always. I mean, I'm always happy to do any show, any collab. It's just fun being a part of this community, which, you know, at the moment we're all anxiously awaiting Alpha 2.
Everyone's kind of twiddling the thumbs and waiting, just kind of trying not to be too antsy.
It's getting there. I mean, I'm watching the awesome seasons video you have going in the background, and that stuff was exciting. So.
Oh yeah, it was. We've been talking about that the past couple weeks. Speaking of the word "we," the other half of "we" is over here on that side of me. Yeah, there we go. This is the lovely Chibi Bree. How are you today?
Hello. I'm well. I'm happy to be done with work, finally. You know, it's funny. You laugh. You think we talk all day. We seriously don't really get a chance to talk on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the first time we talk all day outside of like, yeah,
we both work from home. We're one floor away from each other, and we like meet up on like part of a 15-minute break. Like, hey, how's it going? Here's your food. Okay, bye.
Do you guys get normal weekends?
Sometimes.
Like you work Monday through Friday and then...
Yeah, except for like the thing where you're so busy, so you don't really get your weekend either. Your weekend just becomes the day you do other work that you couldn't get to because of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my weekends far too often. And by the way, welcome in everybody. Welcome Never and Theater Elf and Bumby.
Yes, hello.
And Disorda. Golid. Hey,
and Golid. Ooh, Bartik is the guest. Yes, we love having Bartik on with his Barty antics. Indeed.
Mm-hmm. One of these days, we're going to convince him to do some more Ashes themed D&D one-shots.
I've actually been working on one. I talked to Theater Elf a little earlier about putting together. I want to do more than just a one-shot, though. I want to do like 2 to 3 weeks. Enough time to actually do like a little adventure, but not too long.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time to do that much.
That's fair.
Okay. Well,
I'll definitely reach out to you guys. I'll be looking for some players. So.
Please do. And I have a bunch of maps you could make use of as well.
Ooh, yeah.
I have what's called a subscription to like probably a couple hundred maps I've gotten at this point. So
okay, nice. Yeah,
I also have a subscription to homebrew stuff. So if you need homebrew things,
of course. I don't know if you hear my dog going off, but you know,
your dog likes the homebrew idea.
Yeah. I have something called Wonder Draft, and then there's another one that's Wonder Draft helps you make bigger maps, and then there's another one by the same creator that helps you make smaller maps. That's basically map creation software. So I definitely like hopping into that and making some custom maps, especially for Ashes themed stuff. So yeah.
I'm still waiting on did a Kickstarter for one that was supposed to make like 3D. You could actually do a fly through the map and then get it like smashed down to a 2D flat map if you wanted to.
Dungeon
Alchemist I've heard of.
You sent me that Kickstarter a while ago. I don't think I actually ended up backing it at the time, but yeah.
Yeah, we backed it almost lowest tier, so I'm not going to be out a ton of money from it if it doesn't ever launch, but I'd forgotten all about that until just now. Maybe that's what they were hoping was going to happen.
That is the Dungeon Alchemist. That is the Dungeon Alchemist. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty rare I back a Kickstarter. I think the only Kickstarter I've ever backed was the Brandon Sanderson thing that just came up.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I knew you'd be into that, Vertec.
Yes.
Yep, that's absolutely the one. It's really, really cool because we were looking at it like, oh, you can essentially have it create whatever you want it to create and then adjust things. So, perhaps maybe we'll come up with a map of what we feel like the TGFTavern looks like and release that to you guys with it.
Yeah.
Is it finally off? Is it finally done?
Let me actually
Is it live?
see here.
The Dungeon Alchemist?
Oh, I'm looking right
the
now.
first two layers of the dungeon.
My pledges.
And mage with it.
It says you can buy it on Steam out now. Dungeon Alchemist.
Okay.
So
Well,
you guys should
it's
have
finally
access.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh-ha.
One of those things where you back something and you just completely forget about it. I wonder how many people did that with Ashes.
I think a lot. We should have had far more people in Alpha 1 than I feel like we did.
Yeah. Just had a first major update. Ooh. Okay. Well, I know what I'm playing with here soon.
All right. We're going to have to dig into that one.
Indeed. Most of the stretch goals missing. Yeah, that's fair.
So then, 2017 was 5 years. Yeah. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
When did that start the backing? I thought that was newer.
Which one? The Dungeon
I don't know.
Alchemist?
Anyway.
Was that 5?
Yeah, the Dungeon Alchemist. I don't
thought it
know.
was just a couple years ago.
I know
like two.
Ashes was.
1 or 2.
Yeah. I know Ashes was 5 years ago. They have a little roadmap and stuff on like what they're doing. It's kind of cool. But yeah,
Right.
So exciting things. Lots and lots of exciting things.
It's like Christmas.
We had
Didn't know you were getting a present.
Right. We had the live stream from last month that we've been talking about. We have some new stuff we're going to talk about, and I believe next week is the next live stream. Am I correct in saying that?
I think
I
it's
feel like that's
still
2
one
weeks
more
out.
week after. Yeah, 2 weeks out.
Yeah. I think it's the 24th that we're having a friend. So if any of you guys want to hop on, because we're really happy to get Bartik on today. It's been, like you said, basically a year. We actually used his voice from 2 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from October 2020. That's where that intro came from.
His voice from October 2020, and then him being our guest again after a year, like 3, 2, 1 kind of thing. But Alpha 2, of course.
Oh, don't I wish? I don't know, Nara. The next update. Next update. They'll probably have a bunch of questions about the weather system that they're going to answer in the Q&A. So that's probably going to be a thing. There's going to be a ton of questions about that.
I bet they're also going to be wanting us to give feedback on the weather stuff too, because I've noticed that lately. They show us something and then they ask for our feedback. They show us something, they ask for our feedback. What do you think, Bartik?
They'll definitely ask for feedback.
I'm taking a look because I thought they already sent something out.
I could see us seeing some naval stuff because we saw such basic naval stuff that maybe they're ready to go a little more in depth. That,
I don't know. For me,
Nodes 2.5, since Nodes 3 is never coming.
Didn't you hear them talking? They're skipping Nodes 3. They're just going to go to Nodes 4, I think.
Yeah. we joked about that on Two Guys in a Bar. We're like, they'll just go to Nodes 4 and just keep it a meme and then put it somewhere in the world. Like someone will find it a year into the game. Like, oh, I found Nodes 3. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It'll be a ninja video drop.
Oh, I was
Out
thinking
of
it'd be one of
nowhere.
those things where you pick up a book of lore and it says nodes 3 on it, and then you open it and it's just empty.
Yeah, like a book inside game that says like the 3 nodes or some title, A Tale of 3 Nodes or something.
1, 2, 4.
And it'll be a big old empty book with like a pen laying next to it.
Perfect. That would be the perfect Steven troll.
Mm-hmm.
That would.
It'll be right next to the Sandal Shrine.
There you go. I love the fact that Maggie had to ask Stephen if he had 2 right feet.
The Nodes trilogy 1, 2, and 4.
Oh look, Bartik's a regular. Yay.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've been a regular before, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our bot had to get redone, kind of. We had some issues, and
There was
so
a
it wiped
massive
a lot of
overhaul,
data.
a lot of stuff, and I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? It's just gonna be easier if I just nuke a bunch of this stuff and start over.
Yeah.
So nuked a bunch of the stuff and started over.
Yeah.
also after COVID, you guys get Fridays off, or kind of Fridays off, but in the service industry, you almost never get Friday evenings off.
Oh yeah,
Aw.
that's a myth, right? That's a legendary happening right there. That's like I put in this request 2 years ago, man. I am not working. I put in this request 2 years ago. It was approved 1.5 years ago. This is my Friday.
Dow Nomad says your friends over at Theory Forge, Nero specifically, to give credit, think it will be Valoon reveals. Ooh.
Neurotoxin says
Valoon
Valoon, yeah.
reveals.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does go in hand with the cosmetic set from this month.
That is true. I was hoping to see more
does.
Pyre because they've shown like concept art of the Vec and then an entire character of the Vec versus like the face of the Pyre and then nothing. And I'm like,
Yeah. Well, the Vec
More
were done a
Pyre,
lot
please.
sooner too, in terms of
That's
the
fair.
art and all that.
I mean,
Okay,
if we're
I have
being
a
honest,
question for you
though, I mean,
guys.
the Vec deserve more spotlight. So, okay, continue as you are.
Because I know Vertec wants to play Vec. What were
Mhm.
your thoughts on the character model? Because I've heard a lot of polarizing stuff between like this character model that's on the screen now. Some people were pretty against it. Other people were like, it's okay. And then some people loved it. So
I am actually liking it. It wasn't the cartoonish rendition of like the WoW trolls that had like the 9-foot long arms and short legs, and they were constantly walking in a squat and a stoop at the same time. Like they have a little bit of a lean forward, and that's perfectly fine by me. I know Steven has been saying for a while they have a bit of a stoop, and that's I think a good amount. I just find it funny that they look so aggressive, yet by the lore that's been given out, they're very follow the stars and very like a peaceful and I'd almost say like a harmony with nature and the universe type race, but maybe that's just the guiding of their fate and the direction they go. But they look very inclined towards war, I would say. Like they're very aggressive looking, like sharp claws and the big tusks, and they all have like an angry face on. Didn't see one model that had a big old smiley on it. None.
yeah. Well, maybe you can change that. Who knows? With the depending on your click
Vertec
and
the friendly
drags.
Vec.
Actually,
So I
should we show
feel
them
like
the? Should we share the color one at some point, GB? We did the black and white one. Not
Do we want to do the color one, or do we want to do
Just-
like the?
the third one. I think the second
Yeah.
one for now, not the third.
Okay.
We'll hold the
Okay,
third one in
I'll
our
send
pocket
that
for a
over.
bit.
Okay,
I
sounds
got it.
good.
I just wanted to see if
Okay.
you think we should share that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Sorry, while I find
meanwhile,
that,
I'll
Bartik, what were you
share-
saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say the model for me, I like it. And it really fits, I feel like casters, right? Like I feel like it's kind of that like hobbled prophecy caster type character. I'm very curious to see what this looks like in like full plate with like a spear or a sworded board, because I'm not sure if that's going to fit very well or not. Which that's fine, right? Because I mean, if you look at their race, they're not, you know, that's not their culture really. So
I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. I was just going to change the topic.
Oh, well then to cap that one off, I was going to say that we'll find out, because I'm going to be doing, a Vec tank. So, you know, we'll see how it pans out with that type of stature.
Captain Redbeard has a question for Bartik. Wants to know, why is your beard game so weak? Asking for a friend.
because it's hot here in summer and I go outside, unlike Captain Redbeard.
Ooh, why would you do that?
Shots fired.
I know, right? It's the worst.
Outside and stuff.
Okay. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so first off, the Sortiga says Effects team might also have its spotlight next stream. There's more UE5 goodness, possibly.
Maybe. I actually almost hope for is some more UE5 stuff. Showing some of the effects and the optimizations that have happened, and you know, hey, we've progressed here and there and in this way and that. Check it out. Look at this.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Sorry, Redbeard taking it like a champ. If that was a jab, I didn't take it as one. Grass is gross.
There's no grass in Colorado. Come on, it's too dry for that.
And
Did you say dry
Theater
in Colorado?
Elf wants. Theater Elf wants to know, what kind of songs do you think a Beck Bard would play?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe some like Led Zeppelin. I feel like that would be perfect.
Yeah,
All
Led
along the
Zeppelin.
Watchtower.
Yeah.
I know that's Jimi Hendrix, but yeah, I'd go with Jimmy over Led Zeppelin. There we go. Little Jimi Hendrix. That's where I'm
Okay. I could maybe be on board with that.
Moon howling.
All right, there we go. All right, so I've got the thing and I got it up here, and yeah, so there is one Vec in existence thus far that does have a little bit of a happy face. We found him and he's right here. That's gonna be a Vertec. I got a little bit of art commissioned.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're doing some things, and that guy's gonna be that guy's gonna be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to plan out what our characters are gonna look like. I have an idea, especially after seeing the Pyrite model, what my character is gonna look like, who's not gonna be Chibi Bree, but a different name, and we're working on some stuff, maybe some background lore, things like that. We're not quite ready to share everything, but this is a little sneak peek of art, and I will tell you, Theater, when we're ready.
I mean,
who did it?
We might have to wait for that art to be done before we do D&D, so you guys can play your characters.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Hopefully, it'll all be done here soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I should be getting my art next. It does cost a bit of a pretty penny, so it takes some time. But you guys will all see why when all is said and done.
Yeah, we'll say because of the style.
On something.
Yeah, because of the style we were looking for specifically for our character appearance and just aesthetic. We did have to go outside of the Ashes community, unfortunately, but there's some other art that's involved in the project that we are getting somebody from within the community that has not posted much of what they do, but what they have posted, everyone has loved. So.
Very cool.
I'm very excited. So, lots of big changes coming to your favorite tavern. But the important parts are what you guys are talking about. What are you guys talking about? Let's see.
I talk about nothing.
You talking about nothing?
Just work.
All right.
Work.
Stream's done. Stream's done. Work. Stream's done. Go home. Let's see. So, what about the colonization thing? The whole leaving the node in the first place conversation topic. I like that one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good starter.
So I don't know if there's necessarily been a whole lot of information about what Intrepid and Ashes is planning on doing for this, but yeah, the question was basically what is AOC going to do to incentivize the development and colonization of distant nodes? So instead of just sticking with what you know and developing that node as much as you can, why would you travel farther? And I think part of that is going to end up dealing with just the exploration factor. You're going to get bonuses of either cosmetics or maybe additional abilities or what's the word? Augments from exploring and just checking out different stuff. Yeah, go make guild villages. I mean, people are going to go way off the beaten path to hold, random PvP tournaments in very unique looking areas. And, this one has a lot of cover, so we're going to go out there and have a ranged only PvP tournament. This one's all this type of multi-level stuff. So this one's going to have nothing but melee, climbing up and down towers to have a tournament, that type of thing. You never know. All sorts of fun stuff. It's going to get experience for different nodes. What do you think there, Bartik?
I think there's one thing to note is that not everyone necessarily will, right? There will be different playstyles for different people. There will be people that just sit in a node and flip economy stuff and work on their freehold and whatever it is. And then there's going to be a lot of people that spread out. And I think the major reason to spread out is resource accumulation, right? Because Stephen has talked about resource degradation. The closer to the node, the more competition for farm areas, whether that be monsters or harvestables. So at that point, you're gonna seek to go out a little farther if you have the time. Whereas if this is my home, I don't go very far from it if I only have an hour or two to play. But if I have a 4 to 8 hour play session, hey, let's go on a big roundabout adventure and find some new gatherables and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I think it would probably be towards the end of what you were just talking about. Maybe if I want to work on alchemy, for example, and there's only so much that the surrounding area can give me, I would go explore and maybe find something. Maybe there's a particular, thing that I want to do more of in terms of potions and stuff. And maybe because of the season change, that left to go to a different area. So I followed it, That might lead me to go explore too, because I'd probably want to get more ingredients and stuff like that, or food.
Yeah, and then just sort of mentioned there, get a node closer to a castle. So when you're doing the PvP battles, you'll be closer to a castle, so it won't be so hard to get directly over there from your main town that you're already going to be doing stuff in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting on server start too. I think a lot of people are going to stay a lot closer to the divine gateways on a server start, but after the first month, you're going to have people that have spread out pretty well.
Right. What do you think about hunting certificate price bonuses?
I think that along with Dao Nomad's comment right after kind of would go hand in hand. That would go really well because you can go to a certain area to do a bunch of hunting and a bunch of gathering because it's far away from, say, your home node, and prices are going to be much higher if you can get that stuff all the way back. So you take all the stuff and you take it to one node and hire a caravan to lug it all the way back, or vice versa for that matter. You know that way over on the other side of the continent are some certificates you can make a lot of money on with the hunting, right? So you do a lot of gathering of your hometown stuff, which sells for a lot of money over there. Get a caravan, take all that stuff over to the other area, drop it off, make some money, go hunt a bunch of creatures over there, and then run back and sell those certificates.
Yeah.
It's like the trade routes of old in fantasy, settings where you've got the peddler that picks up the best of the best materials in one area, takes them to the next where they're super expensive. Do you think that would be a lifestyle someone just does, never really has a home fully? They just caravan from one area to the next, picking up whatever that area's specialty is and then moving on?
Somebody's going to do that.
Just a nomad.
I guarantee. Yeah.
That sounds kind of fun, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, they'll probably have one freehold somewhere, whether they go back there often or not, but at least they have a place to drop their stuff. But as far as wherever they log off at night, it could be anywhere, and they just don't stop at home often. Hire a maid to keep it clean or something. But there's
hire
also
an NPC wife, right?
There you go.
Exactly. And then get some orphan children to do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's also thinking of like trade routes and such. What about if your node just ends up feeling like you're at disadvantage because you're literally right in the middle of two nodes that are fighting each other all the time, and they're always running past your node to do stuff, and they just decide to hassle everybody on the way through, and people just get tired of living in that node because of that, or because of how close it is to a castle. There are PvP guilds running across a giant map to go attack a castle. Do you think none of them are going to care about going corrupt by just killing a couple people on the way?
Right.
By stealing, which doesn't turn them corrupt, but hey, they're going to take all the mobs so that nobody else around that area is going to be able to level up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You never know. There'll be a whole bunch of different reasons to get out of Dodge.
We were talking a lot about the environmental stuff, but yeah, there's the whole player side too. What other players are doing, what diplomacy is like in that area, and maybe some
like
massive guild. Yeah, some massive Zerg guild just moves into your node, and you're like, well, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah, as Discordia puts raids content stuff being unlocked by some nodes, and you want to try out like the different ones, or
that's going to be a big one. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a real big one.
With the nodes being more procedural, you might want to try developing different ones to find the best looking one, perhaps.
That's a possibility as well.
Lots of reasons.
For some people, cosmetics are the end game, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, just like making sure like your town looks a little bit more like the way you would want it to look, perhaps. Or where you want it. Like, I know I would probably start off wherever there is, but like end up trying to get to like a coastal node and hopefully build up a coastal node, because that sounds pretty.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta find one that matches up all the things that you want out of a node, and then hope nobody destroys it.
Fingers crossed. It doesn't have to be a castle node. It just has to be at least a metropolis. That's all I care about. As long as it's got like a booming city around it, I'm good. It doesn't need to be a castle.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure in the long run, like the long run, I'm talking like 5-10 years after launch, if everything's successful and everything goes well, I foresee probably the raids and events around the map being probably one of the biggest driving reasons, because if they're only available on a certain node when it gets developed to a certain state, along with, I think Steven even said that it could depend on multiple factors, potentially with a couple nodes around the area being at certain states and certain things happening in one would then trigger something happening in another. And if that's the case, then people are going to get in the habit of, all right, so we've done all this stuff for this node, let's let it die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then nodes are going to be nomadic. They're going to go from this one is a 6 and all the things around it are a 5. They do all the stuff around there, and then they go, all right, next one, we're going to go that direction by 1. This 6 is going to drop down to a 5, and then this 5 is going to go up to a 6. And we're just going to move it's going to be a giant mobile town. It's going to be like an anime, like a town that just moves across the map.
And then the DLC comes in, and we have floating islands with nodes on it.
Ooh,
Heck yeah,
I
heck
would
yeah.
love that, honestly.
Or the expansion, whatever you want to call it.
Right. So we're talking about nodes. Who is it? Derp? Not to be weird.
Derp.
Derp posted issue with level 1 nodes. Just a small one here. I was thinking how cool it'd be fun for me and my friends to try and claim a node on game release before I realized how difficult it would be for us to ever make a home worth staying at. The reason for this is the benefits that come along with the higher tier nodes instantly make them more meta. What reasons will there be for me to continue to contribute to my node if my node is behind other nodes? For example, even if my node is far away from the larger nodes, why should I stay to build it up? I would really love to be able to do this, but I fear that I'll be forced to spend my time in the main cities instead of being able to contribute to a node I'd rather spend time in.
I mean, the first thing is we don't actually know how big the benefits are to being in a metro over like a tier 5 or a tier 4.
Right.
That's unclear yet. Yes, there's benefits. How big of a benefit? And then, as we said before, how Steven's talking about, the land around a node getting degradation in terms of like resources, and as it gets a higher heat map, more people are farming the resources, starts to degrade, you're competing for resources. Are the buffs from that metro worth that, having to constantly fight for resources with the population? And then the other aspect too I'm looking at potentially is, how they talk about freeholds and the land around it mattering. So you may want your land far away from other freeholds out in the boonies because you're getting a bunch of resource tile nodes that are helping you produce whatever you're making, right?
Right.
So those to me are good reasons to be potentially out further from the metro.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's all of that. Also, like the sort of was saying, that's kind of what I was hinting at with the city that would end up moving around the entire map, because when one gets destroyed for one reason or another, they just pick which one of those surrounding nodes to jump to, and that one will just immediately be the next tier 6. But there's also, to be honest, not 100% clarity on all the benefits of being a citizen of a metropolis versus a vassal node that's only maybe 1 or 2 nodes away. Like there's bounds to be some benefits for being a citizen of one specific node, and whoever is the leader of that specific node is going to have different things for it and whatnot, but we don't know exactly how that's going to interplay between all the nodes, because the metropolis has a zone of influence over a large number of nodes, so there's got to be a benefit for being within that zone of influence as well. And then along with being a member of that node, does that provide more benefit than being a citizen of a node right next door? Or is it the same because it's the same parent node?
Yeah.
Well, another thing Disordia says is also taxes might be capped to lower and lower tier nodes.
That's possible. That's possible. And honestly, in the end, like, if you like a node, stay in the node. If you like it that much more, like,
it is interesting what you bring up about the leapfrogging of metros. It is, because like I'd like to see the metro change a little faster than that. That makes sense, because like you can only siege a metro node like once a month or once ever. I think it's over a month in terms of like 40 days or something. Can't remember the exact numbers, but Yeah, I guess it depends how much leapfrogging one node over changes in the world. But like I'd kind of like to see if a metro drops, being able to somehow raise it up in a much different area, or not much different, but a little further away to get bigger changes in the world than just like, oh, well, this city just now becomes a metro.
Right.
Well, the big question with that is going to end up being what events and raids and dungeons are triggered by each of those nodes, because there might be, just throwing out a random thing here, like the raid that everybody wants to be into, or the dungeon that has the really cool looking insert anything, might be in the node next door, and you won't know unless you get that one to raise up. So as far as benefits to players, it may not change scenery or world dynamics to move just to the node next door. It will to a degree, because now there's going to be one less, let's say, scientific node, and now it's going to be a totally different node right next door. It's going to be military or a religious or what have you. So it's going to change type.
I guess technically, if you look at that node randomization, like you guys saw that graphic that someone made where it was simulating how nodes grew up. The tier 5 node isn't always right next to the metro, but it often is. So I guess there is potential that like you'll have a tier 5 node that's a couple nodes away.
Right.
So yeah.
Theater Elf says, won't they offer some crafting or questing opportunities that the higher tiers will need?
Yeah, I believe there was specifically something like that mentioned, that there's going to be some form of, it was like a contract or something you'd pick up in the Metropolis that's going to send you out to the smaller node to do something or grab something or assist in some way, and then report back to the Metropolis.
There's also the specific crafting buildings, right? Because you need a certain level of blacksmith to do certain types of blacksmithing, or a certain level of leatherworking station. And so the metro is only not going to have everything, right? So if you need a master leatherworking station, that may be at like a tier 4 node down the ways a little bit, and that might be a reason to make your home there if that's your profession. And
certain benefits are only going to be at certain types of nodes. So if your Metropolis is a military but you need something out of a scientific, you kind of have to go out that way anyway, right?
So many reasons. We're just finding more and more.
Finding more.
Right. Finally, Golid said, don't forget you can place your freehold wherever and get a metro citizenship.
Which I think is super nifty, by the way.
Yeah.
Drop it anywhere in the zone of influence and just say, I'm going to be a citizen of the metro instead.
Although we still don't know quite how many people can be a citizen in a metro, right? Because it will be limited.
Yeah, I thought the main limit was going to be, and this is literally me just forgetting maybe, but I thought the limit was going to be based on housing for the most part.
Housing affects it, but isn't, it's not the only limit, right? So I think you can increase the limit with housing, but we still don't know what those numbers look like. Because if you can have like 3,000 people be citizens of a metro, that's like, basically a third of the concurrent players, it's not going to be that tight. Versus if 500 people can be citizens of a metro max, even with extra housing, that's not very many people out of the concurrent players. So you'll be competing for citizenship in that metro if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Indeed.
We're looking for details. We don't have them all.
So, we've gotten a lot of music and sounds and the seasons changing, and there's a lot that adds to immersion between the music that you hear and the voice acting. Which one do you think is slightly more important to you? Voice acting or the ambient noises and the music for immersion?
Personally, for me, ambient noises, because in an MMO, I don't play it like a single player RPG. I'm skipping through chat as quickly as possible, right? So if they're gonna do like what they did where they hide like quest hints in the chat, I'm gonna scan over it quickly and then skip to the next part of the chat, or like the NPC's chat, because like time is everything in an MMO, in a competitive game like this, versus stopping and enjoying. So like I feel like, when an MMO, when so many MMOs add in voice acting, I don't even realize they have voice acting because I don't pay attention. I can read along faster than they'll talk.
That's fair. I would agree that the ambient sounds and whatnot are more important to me as well, but I am a big fan of having some solid voice acting. Not like Elion, to name one. That was absolutely horrendous. I wanted to just mute all voice acting, but I really wanted to see if it ever improved, and it never did. It just never did. But that's one thing, is if you're gonna have it, it needs to be good. And good voice acting is typically expensive unless you hit the lottery with every single voice actor.
Right.
And then
that makes sense.
Yeah, and then whoever does the audio editing for everything, and et cetera, et cetera.
It's expensive even if you don't go high quality. Like just the editing and the adding it into the game files, and just making sure everything's on point.
But if I had to get rid of one to save the other and make sure I could bump it up from like a 5 to a 10 in quality, I would definitely put the 10 on ambient noises and such, and I would just turn off the voice.
I mean, I would hope that
acting.
you get, like, cutscenes for me are a lot bigger than the in-game voice acting. Like at proper times when something big in the main story happens, like I will stop and watch like an epic video or something, or an epic cutscene, and in that, then they're not spending that much on voice acting, but they are getting a bit more of that immersion at specific times that matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I ask is because Ponzini put on Reddit Ash's music and ambient sounds. I really appreciate ambient sounds from the season's preview. Most MMOs I play tend to just turn off the music and boost the ambient sound to get as immersed. Most of the time that they play, they tend to do that as to get as immersed as possible. Running water, animals, wind, snow crunching under your footsteps, etc. I just want to let the team know how much I appreciate the work they've done so far, and I really hope that they keep it up with other biomes and gathering similar to New World sounds. One of the few things that the game did right, in their opinion. I haven't played it, so I'm going to stay out of any opinions on it. And it is something that doesn't often get all the praise it deserves. I also wanted to ask, what kind of music is everyone hoping this game will have? I'm sure they already have a direction. It's probably too late to alter that direction. But personally, I'm hoping for something soothing or calming that isn't overbearing and drowns out the ambient sounds. Something similar to Valheim that complements the sounds from the world. It's probably something I'll turn off and turn on as I hear loop for the 500th time, though. So, what are your thoughts?
I think ambient sounds and music are super important. I think the direction we've already seen them go is already really nice. I think they're doing a good job so far. It's some of the best game music I've heard in a long time, and they all haven't even gotten their McCreary's like stuff in there yet. This is just like, I don't know where they're getting their music from at the moment, but I've really liked everything they've done. I like the combination of like piano and the wind instruments and everything else they're doing. It's very important, I think, but I will say, as a similarly with how I do questing, and I just, try to get the information as fast as possible and move on, I will often play an MMO. Not always, depends, but often play that with the sound more or less off while I'm watching like TV in the background or something, because part of that too is it's often not engaging while you're just grinding to level up or whatever it is. So if the game is a lot more engaging, that then changes, and then the music becomes a lot more important to me.
That's fair.
Yeah. Nara, like you're saying, it's currently stock music. I actually hunted it down when we were trying to get someone to make music for our background. I hunted out some samples and whatnot of what Ashes uses currently, and it's all stock music right now. And it would be very painful indeed if it ends up being better than what Bear makes for the game, but I highly doubt that's the case.
Yeah.
And it's a giant finger crossed too.
So
now.
is the
Thank you, Threather.
Is the music for the like the Ashes theme or whatever, that's just stock music right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of it is.
Like, they found some good stuff then.
Yeah.
Right. And it works really well for them too. It fits the theme and their like logo and everything. So it's really, really cool because I've definitely heard it around. But
I wonder if Steven found this like years ago during his D&D campaign and then just carried it forward.
Possibly. But Threather gave us a cool clip from New World's sounds, as they have rain being heard on metal armor and like the tinking sounds. It's kind of cool, actually. Just the thought that put into that. Like, so these little things, I think, make a game more believable. Kind of like when you're playing D&D and you have more of a investment in the story when your character feels a little bit more real. I've played some D&D games where like my backstory didn't matter and it didn't really tie into the game at all. And then I've played some games where the backstory was very, very much brought into the game and it felt more realistic. And while we probably can't really compare that with Ashes, considering, the backstory doesn't really help unless you're just doing it for roleplay reasons, because that's not getting tied into the game, obviously. Things like what Desordia just said, seeing mud like from your footsteps, like muddy footsteps and stuff like that, and then also with the snow, and then just the reactions of your character on the world also definitely help with making it feel more realistic. So I think for me, I would agree. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know some people are. Yeah.
No, you're fine. Go for it.
I was gonna say, I know some people just are super set on voice acting, and they just feel like every game needs to have it. And yeah,
I would be happy. Oh, sorry. Finish.
I think we're gonna echo the same thing. I was like, I'd be happy to have it. It's just when you look at the price and the extra time it's gonna add to development. For me personally, especially on the first playthrough, I'm gonna skip all of it anyway.
Yeah, and I'll be honest though, if they were to go back and redo a lot of stuff with voice acting down the line, because hey, it's been a successful game and we want to add that quality going forward, and we don't want it to be a weird, jarring experience when people suddenly start having voice acting. I think that would be kind of neat too. But yeah, for now it can go way on the back burner, because the music and the ambient sounds, that stuff will make you kind of forget that anything else is going on. You're just in there because your ears are seeing all this stuff, or your ears are hearing all this stuff, your eyes are seeing all this stuff, you're interacting with everything. And you're just kind of chugging through doing whatever it is you're doing, be it questing or dungeoning or raiding or just exploring. You're just in that zone. And I think that's always great. But like they said, after, a good 6 months of that, though, I might tend to be putting on my own music just because I want to hear a certain thing, or, watching Netflix while I gather. Who knows?
Yeah. It's the only way to catch up on your shows sometimes, right? You got to keep up in your gathering and real life, and otherwise you just don't have enough time to get everything done.
There are not enough days in the week. I would say hours in the day, but I need more than that. I need more than just a couple hours in the week. I need a whole extra day.
I mean, we just
Can
need
we have
to go
8
to the
days
4-day
instead of
work
7?
week. That's the plan, right?
They're doing a test of that, a bigger test, out there in, I forget where it was. Was it Denmark that's doing it? It's somewhere out in that
There's some
region.
European companies that already do it, but I think there's a bunch of countries that are starting to look at the switch and doing some tests, right?
Yeah, it's like the largest test done to date. They had a bunch of companies volunteer to take part in it. Just have people do 4-day work weeks and put out the same productivity and see what happens. See if they can.
Right.
Be more focused for 4 days instead of less focused for 5 days.
Right. Because then you actually feel like you have the time to get stuff done. And then on top of that, like, you have a day to actually relax and rest. The important question is, which day do you take off? Do you take off Monday or do you take off Friday? Because if you take off Monday, Tuesday becomes the new Monday. So do you keep Monday and just deal with Mondays?
Or Wednesday for a break in the middle.
Oh, that's true too.
That was one of my
might be
favorite things
nice.
to do when I did 10-hour days. I did 10-hour days, 4 days a week. And took, 2 days off in a row, work 2, off 1, work 2.
Yeah, sorry. We just got a Discord message from the artist that's working on our emotes, and I will not stand for this, but it was very sweet of them to offer. Continuing the conversation of things to come. But I wanted to highlight, if it's okay, somebody who has apparently been following Ashes for a while and finally decided to pre-order the current highest cosmetic pack.
Finally bit the bullet. Show us this person.
So they said it is Amon-X on Reddit, and it says, hello, after several years of following AOC and the progress of the game, especially the UE5 Plus weather system update, I was convinced those guys at Intrepid Studios are passionate, hardworking people that will bring us into the new age of MMORPGs. Nevertheless, what will happen, I'm 100% sure that Intrepid will deliver us a quality product that will grow over time and gather more attention around the world if done right. A faith of I'm assuming they're probably not exactly English speakers by native, because they said a faith of leap instead of a leap of faith, is needed towards something like AOC, especially in these times when companies like Blizzard burn a beloved franchise into the ground with Diablo Immortal. Steven, leader of the no pay to win MMORPGs world, give us the Alpha 2 already. Sincerely yours, MRD Games. So.
What did Z do last week?
Well, Z.
No, Z just worried us a little bit. We didn't hear from her, and we got nervous because she was just silent. I am not naked. Oh my god. I am short. Okay, I'm wearing an outfit. I'm just short.
I should have zoomed in that camera more so it was literally just like the very tippy tops of her shoulders and her head, and that was it. Z, we're trying out the new monetization techniques. We learned from Alinity that we just needed to go a step further in the right direction.
This won't go down anymore. Why can't I hide there?
Here you go. I tell you what. I'll adjust your camera. How about that? I'll zoom you out.
Now all we see is skin, you know?
Oh gosh.
There,
You
how about
probably
that? There
just
you
came
go.
too close to a pizza, right? No, wait, no. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Okay, yeah, that works. Thank you.
Now you have more at the top of the dress.
I thought you were zooming out so I couldn't hide, and I was like, no, wait, put me back.
No, I can't hide. But yeah, no worries. Z.
It's okay.
No
I couldn't
worries,
hide in the first place. But yeah. But yeah, it's a peach flowery dress thing. It's been warm. I wanted to wear a dress today.
Where's the band nearer button? Do we have that installed yet?
No.
Okay. We should probably install that.
We should. But yes, get back on topic. Yay! Someone bought ashes. We're super excited that you've joined the rest of us in the one of us crew with wanting to back ashes and be a part of it. Super excited to see what Alpha 2 brings. But yes, please, just bring us Alpha 2 already. We're all waiting very eagerly, but also impatiently. So.
Patiently.
I'm very impatient.
Impatiently.
I'm just mature enough to drown my sorrows of not having this game and other things.
Yeah. It's a balancing act. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Wow. I mean, we were saying like it's been a year since I've been on the show, and it's just like, oh my god, I didn't even realize it's been that long. Time just flies.
It doesn't feel like that.
Busy.
Yeah, and honestly, like we're all like complaining, like Alpha 1 was supposed to come out by now, and it's not coming out until next month because they moved it, and then like that was already last year. Like,
I mean, everything is soon TM.
Right, soon TM.
I'm just really, all of it. I'm putting all of my hopes into. It's going to be slow going until Alpha 2 ends. As soon as Alpha 2 ends, I'm hoping the ball just gets rolling super fast. Because before Alpha, it's going to be getting the combat system done, getting all the characters or the races built out, getting all the classes built out, getting all the archetypes ready for play, getting all the main systems ready to go and functional. Alpha 2 is going to be used for fixing everything that's broken, right? And then after Alpha 2 ends, then all they got to do is continue fixing the bugs to get the beta out. Finish building the world the rest of the way.
Unless they change what they're planning to do, didn't they say that Alpha 2 is going to be persistent until the launch, and then it became the PvE?
Oh yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, and that makes sense because it's going to be a continual testing process, adding new stuff in, but there is going to be a point where it's going to divide and go into the beta too. But like, my kind of main idea on that is like that the Alpha 2 phase, I don't know how long it's going to last. Maybe it could be there for a year in Alpha 2. I mean, that would be interesting. But
they're calling you old.
Never know.
Bartik.
So old. I don't have any gray hairs yet. I just have peach fuzz blonde.
Peach fuzz blonde. I like it.
But yeah, I'm just hoping that once the beta 1 rolls in, it's gonna just go really quick after that because it's gonna be a lot of polish, and the main thing they got to test out is all the. I
mean, it sounds like we're gonna have a lot. Sounds like we're gonna have a lot of content for Alpha 2, so that'll be very.
Yeah.
I mean, once we're into Alpha 2, I think we're not even gonna notice because they'll be making changes. We're gonna be seeing lots of new stuff and things that. Yeah, I feel like Alpha 2.
And the fact that it's gonna be constant is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll always hop in and get something like, play around with something, try to break something. I'm gonna have a lot of streams of okay, what can we try to break today?
Right.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. What can I climb?
As soon as. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, that was about it.
Okay. I was gonna say we're probably gonna do a lot more streaming when Alpha 2 comes out as well, because it just there's not really a whole lot to do or talk about in the interim, you know, as much as we try. We always try to find something from the forums and the Reddit and stuff like that. But it's not as fun and exciting as getting into the world. Being like, I'm jealous of Steven sometimes because he's sharing like him playing around inside. I'm like, I want to be inside. I want to be in the world, and I want to see that Kieran firsthand. And I want to play with my character and everything.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll get some spot testing somewhat soonish because they have to do it. Steven said they'd be doing that in the lead up to
Right.
too.
Right.
Be nice to get in at some point.
I'm on the outside being like, let me in.
Hey, here's hoping spot testing at the end of this year. Alpha 2 at the beginning of next year. That's where I'm putting my money.
Or sooner, you know.
Or sooner. Guys,
Install
please
Windows 11
install
before.
Windows.
Crashes.
Oh, I mean, that was done like months ago at this point for us. You mean no more Stargate? Right. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. But there are a lot of people worried about the queue times and like the amount of time it's going to take to be able to get in the game. Yeah.
I think, to be honest, myself, the thing I'm more curious to see how well it's going to work outside of load times at launch, because that's always crazy, because that's when the most interest in the game really is for the you know, the very early part of the game is at launch. And then a couple months after launch, it starts to dwindle down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's not quite so packed all the time, but the more interesting thing is going to be is if it stays at even 3/4 full and there's no instancing of any areas. I really, really, really hope they have everything optimized like crazy to have a lot of people on the screen at once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just another reason to get out into the boonies and spread out too, right?
Yeah. Because I'm really hoping against like any weird glitchy things or video issues happening because you're running around through an area and, you know, a world boss drops and 700 people go running at this world boss because it's a Friday night prime time of the server, and there's like an announcement that a world boss spawned and everybody swarms it and everyone gets locked because there's no instancing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And
The other has a
collision.
question. The other says, didn't they state at launch they were looking at like 8K concurrent and 12 to 15K accounts on a single server and slowly increase those numbers over time?
I think it was
I
10,
think so.
10K.
10 and 15. So 10 concurrent
10 and 15.
and 15 total. And I also think server reservations are going to make a huge difference in spreading out the population safely.
Okay, so are you going to go with Bard Tick when you're able to reserve your name?
I'm probably going to just take Bard first.
Bard,
right off the bat, Bard.
I'm also hoping to get an official content creator program, and I'm hoping to push them to ban all content creator names on every server so people can't impersonate you, but I don't know if that'll happen.
I mean, I think that's a good idea, honestly, though, because if all somebody has to do is see like how you styled your character, but also, I mean, I guess the telltale is if you have a cosmetic they don't have.
Yeah.
Like, well, they don't have that cosmetic, so that's not the real person kind of thing.
Well, you can only put the cosmetic on like one character though, so once you put it on that character, it's on that character from what I understand.
That's fair. And the other says that should be a perk of being a official content creator, honestly, is being able to block off your name essentially from being able to be reused by anybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, perk is probably the appropriate word, but I would see it almost as like a shield for your reputation.
Well,
so it could just be somebody
also,
randomly on a random server jumping in and just swindle people out of money or whatever because they're like, hey, yeah, I'm totally so-and-so.
It's also a shield for Intrepid, because if you're an official content creator, they're backing you as well. So they're, you know, if someone is scamming people in your name, they're also, that's also tied to Intrepid getting a bad look at that point.
Right. That's fair. So, hello. First off, welcome in, Overthrow. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Golden Feather. And I hope you enjoy your patronage. And then Trenton, hello, first time chatter, says that's like attempting to stop friends from playing together. Talking, I think, in response to Toxic from saying all streamers should be banned from showing which server they are playing. And hello, Overthrow. Happy to see you in chat.
I don't
What's your
think
thought?
they should. I was going to say, I don't think all streamers should be banned from showing which server, but they should, especially, it should be there should be a list of what streamers are going to what servers in the server registration. Like, I don't think very many people want to be on Asmongold server unless that's like what they want, right? Like, if you actually want to play the game and have a healthy server in the long run, you probably don't want to play on Asmongold server. So yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing that people would love to know.
Right. If that's also capped, though, can you imagine with having like a really large following like he does? Just, well, only half of you or a quarter of you maybe even can get on the server. So congratulations.
I would be caught between feeling bad and feeling entertained by the reaction of people if, say, someone did join a server to be able to be on the same server as Asmongold, and then Asmongold is just like, meh, I don't like Ashes anymore, this other game came out, or hey, I'm not going to stream anymore just because I'm done streaming.
Yeah.
And then they just lose the entire reason that they joined that server, and now it's just a bunch of Asmongold fans being Asmongold fans. Not saying that there's anything wrong with them. I'm just saying that that's their reason for being on the server. They weren't like, I'm going to join this guild, or I want to do this thing, or like that's the reason they joined, and now that reason is gone.
Yeah, I feel like if Asmongold stops playing, whatever servers he's on is going to die. Like, it just becomes a dead server pretty quickly.
Possibly that's a good point. But. By the way, hello, Candonian, another first-time chatter. Hello. Says there should be X limit of official streamers on each server to try to balance viewership as well.
I would agree.
And
with
I
that.
could see that. That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, you definitely I have friends who are going for official content creators. So I wouldn't want to like a 1-person limit, but
right.
I would say you don't want all the streamers going on the same server. Also, like, I think there's going to be a lot of content for like server updates, like what's going on each server, so other people can see like the difference and all that. So
that'd be really, really cool. Yeah. Overthrow says it might be nice to have a table of streamers or large guilds and which servers they're going to do, even though some will swap at the last minute intentionally or unintentionally. It's kind of nice to know.
That may end up even be a resource that they put out there at all times. If they're, if you're an official content creator, maybe they're going to have a list of, hey, this is so-and-so, and then they just say, hey, what's your preferred playstyle? What's your preferred whatever? Like, do you want to claim a guild? Do you want to claim a server? And it'll just be like a full, about these streamers or about these content creators.
Right.
Kind of a database, I guess. It'd be kind of neat.
Makes
if nothing
sense.
else, it'd give that more of a personal, hey, get to know these people type of effect.
Yeah. The other classic WoW. Big streamers announced their server 1 hour before launch and purposely rolled there because they knew their following would go heavy over there. And their server became so big they opened layers. Jeez.
Yeah,
that's
the queue times were also like days. It's ridiculous.
Insane, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
can
really,
you
really
imagine?
curious to see.
Oof, I could not imagine days just to log in.
Yeah, log in, go to bed, wake up, almost there. Should be good by lunch.
That's what New World was for us. We had queue times of like 20,000 people on a server that only holds 2,000.
Just like glue a cat toy to the mouse so the cat just plays with it and keeps your computer active all night.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, most people just set up macros because they didn't have a macro detection system that we not back then.
Yeah. Candonian says, limit by viewership is what I meant. FYI, I've worked on MMOs before and seen these issues before. For example, they allow average viewership of 500K or something per server. It means lower viewership will be more together and build up community, and the big ones are fine already. For when selecting the servers for official content creators to pre-register on. And then the other says, when I played New World, I would log in at lunch queue, and by the time I was off of work, I had 30 minutes left.
That timing, though.
Right. I hope Steven will show on next development update Kraken. Probably not, but I hope. Well, here's hoping.
Kraken.
Here's hoping. Kraken. Yes, hello, Leverage. Welcome in. That's all good. It's all good. I think we mainly just have fan-focused stuff to share at this point in terms of our outline.
Pretty much, but yeah, that's keying off of Threather's comment, by the way. That's one thing I'm really curious to see how well they do with Ashes is we're not going to have shards, or we're not going to have phases. It's going to be just one world flat. Because I saw them do it really, really well with Ultima Online back when I played. Because there could be a ton of people playing, and you would just run from one side of the world to the other, and it was just, you're technically on multiple servers, but you were handed off from one to the other to the other as you hit certain points. So the workload was still distributed amongst them, but
yeah, I
haven't seen one that actually does that. They all do phases, and then you got to worry about, well, what phase are you in, friend? I can meet up with you. Oh, we got to join party first, and then I have to transfer out of this map and then back in. Okay, give me a minute. I'll be back.
I feel like phases just doesn't really work in Ashes either.
No.
Because then you can abuse phases for node experience and stuff like that. You can get so many people in one area all farming, and just like add on more and more phases to the point that,
Also, phases were weird because I'd randomly, especially when I was in PvP areas and they had the phasing, and there's somebody randomly phase in on my phase, and like there I was, only other person around for a little bit, and I'd usually get attacked. But then they'd end up like phasing out if you move like a couple of steps, and I was just like, this is so strange. Or it depends on like what quest you're on. I thought it was cool for one aspect, and that would be that when you are doing a quest that has like a story element, and like they are showing like the reaction of maybe war or something on the like area around you, that put you in a phase where only you were seeing that. So that was kind of cool, but outside of that, it was really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool concept for games that are designed around it, or if the phasing is designed around the game. But yeah, I think there's too many. There's going to be too many open world objectives and too many little PvP skirmishes like caravans and such that are going to be only as much fun and only as interesting if there is not any phasing going on. So I'm all about hoping it pans out well. I think maybe a lot of games overuse it to the point where you phase as soon as you have like 20 people on a screen, they phase it. Any more than 50 people in the city, all right, another phase, open it up.
Right.
That's kind of the idea we were talking about before, is reasons to go out and explore and get to areas you haven't been before. And if you have phasing, you have no incentive to do that.
Right. Pardon me. Candonian says, phases were mainly built in if your game server could only handle a few players in your area of interest, according to server usage. But there shouldn't be a usage for it much these days. We don't generally use area of interest networking in MMOs these days. So like that's definitely interesting. And I think that was kind of Blizzard, especially within World of Warcraft, because that's really the main area I experienced it. Maybe their way of playing with like new technology, you know, But Shafoy asks if you think that AOC will be inspired a lot from Lineage 2. And also, have you guys played that game? I have not played it personally.
I have not played it either, but I know Steven has said that it is very heavily inspired by, the two games he mentions all the time are Arcade and Lineage 2.
Yeah.
And then obviously he's taking inspiration from a lot of other games, like Star Wars Galaxies is a lot of their influence for their crafting system.
Yeah.
He's not trying to reinvent the wheel. He's just trying to take the best of every game and mash it together.
Right. Or, in his opinion, the best of every game.
Yes,
Not that I disagree or agree. It's just more like when you have so much money, you can make your own. When you can make your own game, just take what parts you like and then just mush it together. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's neat. It's neat. As long as it's done tastefully and, you still do something to make it yours instead of just like, hey, I like that idea. Hey, copy paste. Do something to make it fit with your overall game design at least.
Yeah, very true.
Okay. So WoW's original phasing was due to a bug in Burning Crusade. Then they tried to turn a bug into a feature to fight performance, which worked on the short term, but not the long term.
That's
Makes
funny.
sense.
Actually, that's actually really funny. That's something I did not know.
It's cool to know. Yeah.
Really? What's that game that's coming out supposedly sometime in the next year that is the successor to Lineage 2? It's like...
I have no idea, actually.
Not sure.
Something like... they have like an Eastern and a Western realm that are going to be different. And then at some point they're talking about like merging them and having...
Throne and Liberty?
Yeah, there we go. Throne and Liberty is...
Thank you, Truly. Thank you, Throther. Thank you, Shafoy.
I definitely want to play that one because I think it's going to be good practice and very similar to Ashes. Not hugely similar, but somewhat similar.
Yeah. Only the siege looks alike. Okay. Gotcha. Candonian, welcome to the tavern. I hope you enjoy your patronage.
Yes, welcome in.
And we have some interesting fan-focused stuff.
Let's see if we can get some of this stuff pulled up here while you talk about it.
Ooh, there was can we show the cosplay first? Because I love
cosplay. First? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Cosplay first.
So this person did a really awesome Titan Bark male cosplay and took photos of it. And if you guys don't know, I used to cosplay a lot. I think one Halloween I got Vertec to dress up as Spider-Man with me for the Golden Feather. But I saw this and I was just like, ooh, very cool.
Literally right before this show is looking at LARP swords to order.
I love it.
Yeah, I've got a buddy who's huge into, I forget what system they use. He's like, yeah, you got to come with me. It's like 3 weekends a year and it's great. I'm like, all right, well, I'll look into it.
Is that the one that's like up in Pennsylvania?
Well, I'm in Colorado, so I got to go down to Denver.
Okay, somebody was telling me about one in Pennsylvania that people like apparently come all around the country to go to, and it's like a giant camp out week.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of them around. I know, obviously. I think there's one outside of Dallas that's huge as well. Not that I want to go to Texas, but they have like the biggest Ren Fair and the biggest LARP congregation in the world or something.
Oh, jeepers.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
I haven't done LARPing before, but yeah, Candonian. We're actually almost done wrapping up here. Thank you for stopping in, though, if you have to head out before we finish. And I hope you enjoy the
Thanks for stopping in. Thanks so much for the info.
How long do you guys
as well,
think it will be roughly till AOC is released? Oh, that's a great question. That's a hard one to answer, honestly.
That is a very, very loaded question.
I can give a rough estimate. Anywhere from 6 months to like 10 years.
Oh, release?
that is a rough
release?
estimate.
Yeah, it's a rough estimate.
never
Anywhere
know,
from
you never
6
know.
months to 10 years.
That's fair. I feel like 6 months is a bit short because we haven't even seen A2 yet, but you know.
I'm like 99.99% confident it'll be somewhere in that time frame.
That's
All
fair.
right, I think you might be
Okay.
about right.
Would be rough. Yes, it would. Mine is like 2 years. Yeah, that seems more reasonable. Like 1 to 2 years, maybe, I think. Really depends on how much UE5. Yeah, UE5, not EU5, but UE5 helps out. About 2 weeks, surely.
Hey there, Bochi.
Hello,
And,
my lord.
Yeah,
My lord. Welcome.
in 2 weeks, they'll
Calling
be
out next year in
announcing that
August.
Alpha 2 is out next week, right? So
Oh,
hoping?
absolutely.
Definitely
Absolutely.
Highly doubt it.
Definitely.
we don't even have the classes yet. We don't have
Yeah, I'm
notes
still
to read
thinking
yet.
2.5 years is what I
Ooh.
got. That's what I'm calling. 2.5 years.
Ooh. Yeah, 2024 summer, hopefully. Fingers crossed, you know.
2025.
But yeah, so this is for reference. This is the was it Winterbark?
The Titan bark. Titan
Titan
bark.
bark. Thank you. I was looking for the link. It's Titan bark armor, and this was the concept art, I believe, for the cosmetic. So compare
Mhm.
this to the cosplay.
And there's the sword that came along with it.
Hmm.
And someone did a cosplay and posted it up on the forums.
All right.
That looks
Breaking
really
out the sword and
cool.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took them a good minute.
Oh, I'm sure.
Do you know how they
Neat.
made the
And
pieces?
put a
Are
map
they
on the
three-
back.
Did they say
Yeah, I
how they
have no
make
idea.
the pieces? If it's 3D printed or
No, it doesn't look 3D printed. It looks like the what's the Warbler stuff. It looks
Warbler?
like that. Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like that kind of a shape and
Warbler
feel
and
to
foam,
it.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, we love that Ash's map on the back.
The
If
Tavern
you
and
need
everything.
anything for LARP, check out Cali Masil. Ah, cool. There you go. Bartik. But yeah, that one
Hey.
was really cool.
that's what I'm looking at, Bochi. Either that or what is it? BI3.
So flat Earth ashes.
I was just giggling at that. But yeah, feel free to go check it out yourself and go give it a like because the forums are free to join and there's tons of cool stuff on there.
The more accurate description is flat backer. Okay, flat backer Vera.
Flatpacker.
Ba-dum. I got good
Oh,
jokes.
goodness.
Okay, I got good jokes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me live in my delusions. All right, what's the next one you wanted to show off?
The art of the Tolnar.
Art of the Tulnar. There we go.
That's next.
Yeah, I was clicking around through this stuff.
Yeah. But that looks really cool. I'm interested in seeing what Tolnar ends up looking like in terms of options. But that's kind of their hope for what it does look like.
Let me actually even make this a little bit better. Let's see if I can just zoom in on this. How about that?
Yeah, I still have no idea what to expect. I feel like it's going to be a lot more humanoid and a lot less like fur.
Yeah.
Based on
Potentially.
Steven's comments towards some of the fur stuff.
Yeah, some of the
Yeah. Yeah.
fur statements. Yeah, not so much that, guys. Not so much that.
But it's neat. It kind of gives me a vibe of like the Egyptian feels almost, this art.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Definitely not the birds. Yeah.
I am curious because like they do have to have like a cultural influence most likely, right? Because I mean they've had a millennia underground and they should have their own kind of like culture by that point. So I'm curious to see what they release in terms of cultural influence for the Tulip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's something I've been thinking
absolutely.
about once in a while too. What do you folks think, chat? What do you think they're gonna have for cultural influence of the Tolnar, the left behind, the
I think
forgotten?
it might be a mesh. Just
The
mashed it
mutants.
together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the Pyre are Native American, right? We've got the Empyreans, which are they Greco-Roman? I think they're Greco-Roman.
Sounds about right.
For Empyrean. The Kalar are like kind of French medieval a little bit. I can't remember exactly. Thayloon are obviously Middle Eastern themed, Persian themed. Then we've got the classic dwarves, which are Nordic themed.
Dwarven themed.
We've got dwarven themed.
Hello, Roach.
Got
Welcome in.
Polynesian theme in the Nakua. And then we've got Vec is Mesopotamian, and the Renkai are like feudal Japan. So, yeah. Could be some mesh of those, or they could just like pick another style and culture to do the Vec after.
Yeah. Speaking of Pyre, there's this really cool thing somebody's doing where they're collecting Pyre stuff for a mini.
For a mini.
But yeah, the mini war game I think they're a fan of. But I figured we could put that up to let them look at while you were talking about what you thought for the potential Tolnar. I know you just had it up a second ago. Oh, you did zoom in though.
Yeah, I'm resizing everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Raj, we're talking about what we think the cultural theme for the Tolnar will be.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, there we go.
Kind of went over what the other one or the other 8 races are culturally and architecturally themed after, and just kind of speculating a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna actually do another resize of this one because this is a big old piece here.
Oh, it is. It's pretty though.
Caveman themed.
Okay, who said that one?
Theater.
Oh, theater elf. Never change, never change.
What's the Canadian architecture though, Bochi? I'm pretty sure Canada's too new to have
igloos and whale
architecture.
ribs. I've seen it on
I thought
TV.
that was
It's a
Antarctica.
fact. It's close enough.
That would be
Above the snow
that would
belt.
be an Inuit theme, right?
Yeah.
It's in the why is it
But
so
this
cold
person-
belt.
But this person is putting together a bunch of information on the Pyre, and you can find it at the link I just sent you. Hockey area, yeah. Canadian, or mix of all, yeah.
Hockey arena.
Nice. Oh yeah.
But yeah, this I think is going to be pretty cool. And what you can't really see very well down here towards the bottom of here, and by the way, I didn't like that yet. I don't know why. Okay, now I did. Is I'm gonna try to zoom in on it, but it's it looks like some work that they are already starting on with multiple other pages, because that image that we were just looking at is actually in the top left of that. It looks like they're making a full-on book, and they've got a lot of it already made up. They're just filling in some text now.
Yeah. It looks really, really cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, so definitely head over and give them a like so they post up more art and more of those pages, because it looks like it'll be really cool.
Yeah. Also, the last thing is just a meme. So, like, feel free to share it if you want, but it was just a meme.
Oh, the arise, arise.
Yeah.
Alright, let me see if I can dig it up here. I know I just had it earlier.
Yeah.
Do.
But yeah, that's what the person wanted to do, where I guess they like war game stuff. So they wanted more like miniature type things, like probably I imagine Warhammer 40k type things. Imagine like Ash's version of Warhammer 40k though.
I could see Steven doing it.
Yeah. I mean, they did say Ashes is going to be a franchise, right? So
They're already working on the board game, right?
yeah, if they're trying to do multiple
I don't know if
things.
they said board. Yeah, I don't know if they specified board game or tabletop game. I'm not sure.
That's fair.
I know people were asking about books and board games and all that, and Steven's answer was basically stuff, franchise that's a name, and maybe.
Maybe.
Which sounded very much like a guilty, I can neither confirm nor deny these accusations.
Right.
But yeah, so you got this whole MMO RPG genre trying to get taken down by the pay to win. Then the Ashes of Creation army comes through and says no. Or are they there to back it up? Maybe they'll destroy the MMORPG genre as well as the pay to win army and just rebuild it all back from the ground up. Do it.
They're just there for chaos.
Yeah. We're here to save you from your crappy architecture that's already been beat up. Look at it, it's on fire. We'll make it better.
It's just the outer city. It's just the peasants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the peasants, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna throw some dirt on it.
Oh, wait. Have you played Tiny Tina's Partig?
No.
Oh, dang it. There's a line. It's like, oh, thank you for saving my peasant ass.
Yeah. I guess we'll just go save this peasant ass. Thank you for saving my peasant ass.
Yeah. I love it. It's essentially D&D, but a shooter-looter D&D game because it's based off of bunkers and badasses. So.
Cool.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun enjoying it. But I've been checking it out a little bit with Vertec on personal time. So
it's very enjoyable.
Fun.
It's like Borderlands, but with spells.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And crossbows.
Check it out.
And bazookas that shoot magic,
It's called
not
Tiny
unlike the potion
Tina's?
launchers. Yeah.
Yep, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Question: you can't stream Alpha 1 or Alpha 2, right? Or even record it. But no, we were allowed to stream Alpha 1. They allowed us to stream it after they removed the NDA. But for us who have access to testing prior to, we probably won't be able to do that. But Alpha 2, I believe, is supposed to have no NDA.
Yeah, it'll probably be something similar to Alpha 1 was, where the Alpha itself was not NDA, but there was a testing period where they were doing spot testing beforehand that was NDA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see the spot testing ahead of time being NDA. And then I feel like for the official Alpha 2 launch, they would have to make it not under NDA.
Yeah. But super excited to see especially with this version, Alpha 2 is supposed to be kind of standing and open. So you should be able to get in at any point in time, which means a lot more content will probably be coming out about Ashes, and you'll start to see, like, Vertec and I are especially excited to see more of a division of content creators, because right now all we have is people that are, checking out what the live stream has to offer and essentially just talking about that. But I feel like pretty soon we're going to be seeing people doing like the news update people, and then the what is changed from last update people. Like there's strictly like in the news of this specific patch, this is what's included and this is what has changed. And then there's the people that like to look in the files and be like, these new things were being added into the files in the last patch, so we might see something like this, stuff like that. So I'm very excited to I'm very excited to watch people kind of like spread out from just the not in a negative way, but like regurgitating information from the live streams, because there's only so much that you can talk about over and over before you're like, okay, that conversation's done.
Yeah. I mean, for the community too, people don't want to, like, that's not the content people want to watch, right? Like, well,
right.
I mean, it's always like, it's good to catch up and keep up and all that, but eventually you're like, oh, I've already seen this video from another content creator covering the same topic.
Yeah, I think I've heard this same point 5 times now today. So next.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah,
Theater Elf, they do need an Alpha 1.5. I was actually just, thank you for saying that, because it reminded me earlier I was going to make a comment saying they needed to do some spot testing like right now to get some of the combat ironed out, because that's one of the things they need to get done ASAP. Like, just put it under NDA, do some serious combat testing, trial and error. What do you guys think of this? Okay, tomorrow we're going to try something different. Then we're going to try something different. Try all the iterations you have in mind, and let's start moving forward with something. Get that combat done.
Absolutely. I have to admit, I refuse to give them money until persistence. I feel bad, but too many projects have... Oh, absolutely, Nomad. By all means, we commend you for that. Bartik, when did you back, or have you not backed it?
I bought the Alpha 2 package back in 2020. Basically during the whole Lazy Peon hype. That's when I found out about it.
Well, I guess the second Lazy Peon hype.
The second Peon wave.
The second Peon wave.
But we all got excited way back then, and it honestly, like, with finances and everything, it makes sense. What were you gonna say for tech?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I have now dubbed it the second Peon wave, and future history books are going to know it as such.
Well, I caught the second one because I came in on the first one back in 2017 when he was doing the covering of like new MMOs that are coming out, and he was talking about like their Kickstarter. So like that was the Peon video that I saw, and then he did a update back in 2020 of like the ones that are still like coming out soon. So
everybody left their playgrounds and came over to this one. It was crazy.
I definitely wish I'd been in on the Kickstarter. That lifetime sub, I'd probably get my value back in.
Yeah. That's the very first thing I did when I saw that I wanted to try to back the game. I couldn't see the worth in going anywhere lower than the lifetime sub.
Yeah,
that's how I felt about the Brandon Sanderson Kickstarter. I was like, I can't find any value in this if I'm not backing at the highest tier. Need it all.
A ridiculous amount of money on that too.
All of it. Yeah.
Man, Bocce, I've been playing WoW on and off for far longer than that, and I don't even like that game. I just kept going back to it because what else am I gonna play? And now I choose to play nothing because that's how much I really don't like it. But if I had honestly a lifetime sub, I'd probably still be tinkering with it from time to time. So there's that.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it's one of those like, it's already paid for. It's not coming out of my pocket, whatever. But it is 8:47 already.
It's time to run.
We do have somebody who would like to go raid, but first, guys, if you guys don't know, I'm taking over this part so that Bartik can't not share this, but Bartik on Wednesdays has two guys and a bard that he has live on Twitch, so please go check him out. And now you can talk about whatever else you do, because I wanted to make sure that gets out there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as she said, we do our own podcast. It's me, it's myself, it's Fane, and Redbeard. And I know Redbeard's going to be on this show next week, I believe, right? Or is that 2 weeks from now? I can't remember.
That's 2 weeks from now.
Okay, 2 weeks from now, Redbeard will be on.
I thought it was next week. Okay.
Yeah, it's the 24th.
Okay, 2 weeks from now, Redbeard will be on this show. But yeah, we do our own show. And yeah, just another podcast. We like to hang out. We give each other a lot of shit. We're a lot meaner to each other than you guys are. So that said, and then I've got a YouTube channel. Obviously, I haven't been posting recently. I've got a lot of stuff planned. One of the reasons I'm getting some large shit is for props as well for some YouTube videos coming up, but it's not worth putting in the time and effort for the videos or right now with everything I have going on in life and the amount of interest there is in Ashes. So unfortunately, some of that has fallen to the wayside. But in the next marketing beat, I will have a lot of content coming out. As I said, I'm stockpiling up on ideas and probably won't make the videos until the time actually comes so they stay relevant.
Right.
But yeah. So that's me, what I do. I'll be streaming and making lots of content upon Alpha 2 release.
Nice.
All right. Good stuff. Well, everybody, thank you all for stopping in here. Much appreciate your time, your chats, your informations, and just general discussion. Throwing words at us. We like receiving words in our screen in front of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Then we can respond to it, and we can go off on random tangents, and it's amazing. But you could have been doing that.
We love
anywhere.
hearing your opinions.
You could have been out there watching who knows who, talking about what they're wearing.
You could have been watching
you were
Bartik.
here critiquing Chibi's choice in outerwear. So I guess that's not outerwear, is it? No, it's a dress. That'd be a jacket.
Midwear?
Yeah.
It's not under, it's not outer, it's somewhere in the middle.
Oh, hey. Thank you so much for the gift of the sub there to Bochi, rather.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Much
I
appreciated.
already regret not buying Ash's package of the skins and cosmetics. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very toxic. But we are gonna go raid Simurg, the one, the only Sim Phoenix Ashen Paladin, I think.
Who knows? It's been a while. It's about time we drop some people in his playpen.
Indeed.
See you folks next time. Love you all.